Str8 Rippin up 2-0 after that nail-biter in the first game. They seemed very comfortable, very confident in that second game. We move on now to Game 3, and let's take a look at the map to see what's going to happen. But Str8 Rippin looking very strong right now.
All right, well, Game 3 is going to be Guardian Oddball. Now, this is one of Triggers Down's best game types. They went 2-0 in this game type in Meadowlands. Meanwhile, Str8 Rippin lost this game type to a team not even in the top 8. So if Triggers Down wants to get back in the series, now is the time. It is Game 3. We are on board with T-Squared, and he is charging the Camel to start this one off. Hit by a perfect grenade thrown by Triggers Down. And now he's going to be able to make his way over, and he saw the Camel was gone. That is not good news, but his grenade is able to take down SK. And now T-Squared is going to be able to move for the oddball. Team captain grabbing the objective early on.
I like what I see right there. T2 doing what he needs to do, pulling that ball, getting it out of the middle.
Meanwhile, we have Legit with the sniper rifle. But Sundance, let's take a second to talk about Str8 Rippin so far. This is not the team we saw in Meadowlands.
Oh no, this is the team I thought I was going to see in the Meadowlands. I mean, these guys were hyped up. They had practiced. They were #1 coming in. But you know what? So far, you know what I see? I see some hunger and I see some fire. Now, right now, this game is too early to tell, but this series to this point has been a statement series again. It's T-Squared and team going off against a higher seeded team that they feel like should be beneath them.
Guys, it seems like someone new is stepping up for Str8 Rippin all the time. I say that last game, it was Legit. He showed himself to carry them through that team. They always have somebody ready to step up.
I'll tell you what, it's a team of superstars, Aaron. You look at all 4 of those guys, and any one of them could lead their own team and be the star player. But you know what I love? They're all willing to take a role and run with it. T-Squared, a guy who a lot of people used to say wouldn't adjust his play style, was too selfish, is now one of the best support players we've ever seen. Legit, a bulldog of a player, is a support player. And Neighbor and Elamite, 2 guys that a lot of people didn't even know about a couple of years ago, are superstars. You gotta love it. That's the way the league works. You work hard, you work together, and you can rise to the top, and they have definitely done it.
All right, well, taking a look at the game types, if Triggers Down is able to take this game, they're going to be sitting pretty. They got multi-flag narrows coming up, and then after that, they will be facing off on Team Slayer Pit, where we've seen what Hysteria can do with the sniper rifle. So this is do or die time, like we said, for Triggers Down, and I'm expecting some big things out of them because these guys refuse to go down 3-0 to any team in the winners bracket.
I agree, and especially for a team who took Final Boss to 10 games, losing 3-2 in each of the series last time. I don't think they're willing to go down 3-0.
Well, we're on board with Fear itself now from Triggers Down. This kid has one of those most solid BRs on the circuit, especially at long range. He can be knocked out of scope, but he doesn't lose focus. He's able to just lock onto his opponent and clean it up with, most of the time, perfect 4 or 5 shots. 6 shots or less every time.
Well, you've seen it here, especially on Guardian. It seems like he goes off. He just stood up. He's celebrating.
I'm loving
his team's in a good position. If he gets on a roll and gets his team fired up, anything happens. But you see, taken out there.
Well, Fear itself is starting to talk a little trash. He's got to get his team fired up, and he knows that. After seeing last game, Victory X was a little bit down on himself, and Fear looked over him, and he's like, dude, shake it off. So now Fear is trying to step up, and he is getting back in the game. You see him chasing down the oddball. He knows they need to keep the ball out of the hands of Str8 Rippin, because once Str8 gets set up, they're going to get a huge chunk of time. You see Legit doing some short-range sniping there, takes him down. Let's jump on board now with T-Squared, however, who is still holding the ball bottom blue.
And you know what? You see him there. He's just hanging out, having a good old time. No reason to move. Well, I think I'll play ball if I need to. Thank you very much. We're at only 2 seconds down. Just like that, Str8 Rippin right back in it.
So much composure.
All right, well, we are jumping back on board with Legit from Str8 Rippin, and he is doing some short-range sniping over here on the gold tower. We just saw him pick up 3 kills. Now he's going for a 4th, looking across the map over towards Snipe. He has no shield, and yet he is still positioning himself where he can watch part of the map with that sniper. And he's just barely missing those headshots on Victory X as he hits SK once, and T-Squared's going to be able to clean it up very easily. Str8 Rippin only down 1 second now.
And you know what? The nice thing about that for his teammates was the communication. So what they're doing right now is they're cycling their setup. You saw them setting up over on the blue side. Now they're over near the green and on the snipe tower. They've got Elamite, who's camo. Oh, and he's using it nicely right there.
That's
Str8
right.
Rippin taking their time, not getting worried, because you know what? They've taken the lead.
Well, Elamite just cleared off the snipe tower for Str8 Rippin. Now you see Legit moving bottom green. He's going to try and sneak over towards the elbow here so he can get a better angle. Actually, he's just going to sit in green because he knows that Triggers Down is stuck at blue, and they don't have an angle at him right here.
You know, he might as well pitch a 10 right now.
Well, he's on a killing spree. That's 5 kills without dying, and he's doing some
Look at
long
these
distance
shots.
DRM.
I love that, the sneak shot, knowing the angles, knowing the geometry of the map, being able to put shots on people by using his teammate's screen and locating the enemy.
And Str8 Rippin just showing that land against influence helped them so much. Confidence, team shot, communication, they are just on. We are jumping back on board with team captain T-Squared trying to do the sneaky jump here, top yellow. And they're looking over here for the new camo. T-Squared now pushing top middle. He knows the ball's down on elbow. But check it out, Str8 Rippin definitely has some map control here, as T-Squared was able to walk untouched across top middle all the way to Snipe Tower, where he's now got a Mauler for some short range damage, and he's able to put shots on Victory X, the final member alive for Triggers Down, who had the oddball, forcing him off the map.
And I like that play again by Str8 Rippin, knowing that rather than worry about grabbing the ball and getting it 1 or 2 seconds, that they would rather set up, be in a position to get 10 to 20 seconds at a time. As you see right now, Elamite, he's going for a little jog with the ball down, looking at his feet.
All right. Now, Sundance, one thing I wanted to point out here was Triggers Down is not looking as comfortable as they were last tournament. They took Str8 Rippin, or they took Final Boss to 2 5-game series, losing only 3-2, both times losing those Team Slayer games. I thought they were the second best team that I watched in Meadowlands. They are not playing that way here.
Well, remember, Bucket, it's a new lineup. It's a new event with a new lineup with Triggers Down, and maybe, just maybe, the chemistry and the familiarity just isn't there yet. You know what, we're going to lay out for a minute here and listen to the teams play for a bit.
He says Mauler, it's nice.
You're so dumb, Tom. It's ridiculous.
Ball,
Top mid.
We have to kill.
Top side. Top side.
I think he might. Top mid.
Top side with sniper. Sniping top side neighbor. Get that ball.
Nice. Come on.
One shot. Back
Get
side.
it. Top blue. Top blue. Top snipe. Push. Ball's at 3. Top snipe.
Neighbor's weak. One down.
I think the sniper push. It's not
Two, it's snipe.
Yeah. Yes, Mauler on ball. Mauler on ball.
Top blue.
New Mauler's up. New Mauler's up.
Top middle one in. Mid-side. 2 on 2. I need a ball.
Watch out. They know you're there.
All right, guys, I hate to break in here for a minute, but I have a little bit of breaking news coming from the floor right here for everybody out there. Right now, it turns out that Believe the Hype is up 2-0 against Final Boss. Not to take away from the matchup that we're seeing here right now, but that at this stage of the tournament is a big surprise. And on top of that, it seems like we've got
Instinct
Carbon
is up 2-0 over Carbon.
2-0 to Instinct. So already, folks, a lot of surprises in San Diego. Stay classy.
So Carbon, Final Boss, down 2 games each. Str8 Rippin right here, they're up 2 games. Is that what's happening right now?
Right now, Aaron, that is the way it's playing out. Now remember, nobody is out until they've lost that second series, but Carbon and Final Boss to be this early in the event for them. Remember, they haven't been playing. They've been hanging out, taking it easy. This is early for them. You don't expect to hear that, especially from Final Boss, who last event rolled until they ran into a little team that was ready to take them down, and then just came back and steamrolled everybody. So this is a bit of a shocker. It's early yet, but we're seeing some surprises. The thing that I personally am not surprised by is how well Str8 Rippin is playing right now. He's got a 6-second lead. They're communicating well, and they're beating a Triggers Down team which has dominated this game type previously.
I'm actually really surprised by the play styles here. I favored Triggers Down in this matchup. They are a setup team that resembles Final Boss, except it seems they're a bit more explosive at times, with players like Hysteria and Victory X stepping up huge. where, as we just see consistent play out of Final Boss. Meanwhile, Str8 Rippin, they are always a question mark in my mind because they never seem to play with setups. They are aggressive, they continuously put the pressure on you, and sometimes it comes back to bite them in the ass.
Oh, you're absolutely right, but I mean, I've actually heard it referred to as a frustrating play style by people who are very close to the team. The fact of the matter is, though, very similar to a team called Carbon that we saw in 2006, who played a swarming style, not worrying about the setup, basically saying, we will outskill you player by player, and we'll worry about the strategy and the setups later on. That's what Str8 Rippin does when they're on. The problem was, at the Metal End, at least, they were not on. They were outplayed by several teams.